Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Rise against coup, terrorism, Tinubu tells West Africa. Gencos sell cheap power to neighboring countries. Akeredolu's wife suspends 70th birthday celebrations. Gunmen kill 12, raise houses in Plateau. PSC sacks 3 cops. CBN to scrutinize First Bank shares acquisition by Otudeco. Ex-ministers get 3-month deadline to declare assets. Forex buyers trade in parallel market to avoid tax clearance rule. And 15 killed in Badagry Road accident. Okay, which story we're starting with in the nation?
The Code of Conduct Bureau, CCB, has directed former ministers and ex-lawmakers and other political office holders to declare their assets within the next 3 months. So the directive, they say, is in conformity with the 1999 Constitution, which empowers the Bureau to vet the assets of public officers. And in line with the Constitution, we're told that the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, have already declared their own assets. 36 governors have also followed suit. So we know that May 31st, the ex-president, Buhari, returned his asset form with a statement that he has taken no loans and he has no liabilities. And they are saying that the former public officers who have not, who are yet to declare their assets have just 3 months to do so, and if not, they will be sanctioned according to the law. And they went ahead to list those people who are in this bracket to declare their assets. They said the president, vice president, the president of the Senate, deputy president of the Senate, the speakers and deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, all members of the legislative houses, governors and deputy governors. They also have Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice of the Supreme Court, the President and Justice of the Court of Appeal, all other judicial officers and all the staff of the Court of Law, the Attorney General of the Federation and Attorney General of each state. It also covers ministers and, other people. And they're saying that the bracket with which you are, every asset that you acquire while you're in office must be declared, except you can prove otherwise.
Okay. So Gencos here, according to this report by Yusuf Ali in Abuja, in the nation, he said that Gencos are selling cheap electricity to neighboring countries at a lower cost than discos in Nigeria. The document obtained by the nation showed this report. According to the document, Gencos are also carrying out unregulated sales or secret deals to earn Forex at all costs. And worse, they actually are not carrying along the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, NBED. They're the ones supposed to be actually in charge of all these international sales and agreements. So investigations showed that the breaches by the new Gencos include the violation of transfer order made pursuant to the Section 10 of the EPSRA and the NCP. So they are quite worried that they've sealed about $16.92 million worth of invoices were exchanged between Gencos and international customers within Niger, Benin Republic, and Togo, outside NBED, and that is quite worrisome according to this report.
Yes, I have sad news coming from Plateau State. So the state government have killed 12 persons in coordinated attacks in 2 communities in Mongo local government of the state. They said that these people came in and just started attacking. They killed some people, many people were injured, razed houses. One of the community leader, Jerry Detem, confirmed the attack. He said that the good thing, he said that 9 bodies were found, but there's still so many bodies missing, so they're searching. 6 houses were burnt and many other properties destroyed. But also he said he commends the Operation Rainbow for their swift response. He said it was because of how they swiftly responded to the situation that it was not worse than it is. And they're also asking for government, to come to the support of our military and our security personnel so that they are better able to do their jobs and protect these communities. We also have Operation Safe Haven. The spokesperson also said that they are now in the communities, they are investigating, they are searching, and they would not even, they've moved the headquarters to these communities until peace is restored in these communities. Right. And the governor has put a 24-hour curfew in the communities as well.
I want to take the
local government.
Okay. I want to take the story on tax clearance. So there's a lot of pressure on the parallel market for Forex needs because the regular market, which is the banks, are now requiring a lot of things before you can access dollars. They said the demand dropped from 280 million naira, $280 million daily to 70 to 90 million daily. And this is because for you to access the I&E window, you have to have your tax clearance if it is for individual, whether you're getting money for personal school fees, personal travel, that's PTA, or medical bills, accommodation payments. Once you are accessing for personal needs, you need to have your personal income tax.
Yeah.
Yes, you need to have your personal income tax, and you upload your number and your payment. Now, if you're a company, you should have your tax clearance certificate as well. So many people, because they don't want to have to go through this requirement, and because a lot of companies that you were collecting money before didn't have it, they are now going through the parallel market. I think the government should implement it in the parallel market, because the more tax, if everybody is made to pay tax, it won't be convenient for us. But let's just suffer all the suffer now, and then we create a structure that works.
But that structure is important.
Yes.
There's no way in the world that they won't ask you for this documentation for you to access.
It's impossible. And currently, the parallel market is now 792, and the IE window is now 776. So we're now having that unevenness again. So if we make it the same process...
No, they need to stop giving access to the bureau de change. They have to find a way to lock them up and stop them.
No, you can't. They will still... We need to have free markets.
Yeah, we need to have free markets. But you see, it's affecting what we're trying to do.
Yes, everybody should follow the rules.
All right, we're going to start with the punch. We'll continue with the punch. Ministerial appointment. National Assembly awaits nominees as Tinubu sends lists to DSS, EFCC, and others. Presidency, I worked against Atiku, says Fayose. Adamu, National Working Committee members on collision course over APC account audit. NDLEA arrest Delta church workers, seize drugs in states. 18 Benin Republic-bound partygoers, driver, motorboy, die in Lagos crash. Immigration officers shoots protester dead in Ogun community. FG to shut online banks pestering debtors. Cost of living, more Nigerians may join Japa train as hardship worsens. Tinubu emerges ECOWAS chair, rallies members against coup. Okay, which story are we starting with? I could start with the former governor of Ekiti State, my baboko, Mr. Ayodele Fayose. He said he has no regrets, working 100% against Atiku Abubakar. That he worked for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu based on principle. According to him, he supported the President Tinubu of the APC because he believed in the principle that was agreed. According to him, speaking on Channels TV, and he was saying that I worked against him 100% is big, and Nigeria is bigger than APC or PDP. And even Asiwaju himself, Nigeria is bigger than Asiwaju himself. Let us call a spade a spade. I am not a man that would hide my action. If PDP doesn't want me, let them say it, and they can expel me, or they can tell me I can leave. But me, I love the PDP, even though the party has not been fair to me. I'm a principled man, so let me say to you, I never worked for PDP during the last election. I am not a liar or a pretender. I did not work for PDP, says an Ekiti man.
Honestly,
sounds exactly like them.
Yeah, so the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission said they would delist any loan application harassing customers and ask Google to permanently delete such apps from their app store. So this, they said, was in response to continued harassment and defamation being meted out on Nigerians by these digital lenders. And it's also the newest measure implemented by the federal government to protect Nigerians from the activities of these digital lenders. So earlier in the year, the FCCPC mandated loan apps to register with the government. And they said so far, only 180 apps have gotten full or conditional approval from the commission to operate in the country. Google, on the other hand, is saying that they have recently announced that loan apps will not be allowed in their app store without regulatory approval. So government is saying they are able to trace those loan apps who default, who go about harassing customers, and they are able to get them if they are all registered. But unfortunately, most of the loan apps still find a way to use the underdog kind of platforms like WhatsApp, APK, those platforms that are below the radar, and so government cannot quickly get a hold of them. Google, on the other hand, also mentioned that they have promised that they are going to stop releasing the information and photographs of their customers in those loan apps. They're going to cut it. I think that was promised in May 31. They're going to cut them from having contact and photos of the customers as a way of protecting the customers involved.
Our president has emerged the new chairman of ECOWAS at the 63rd ordinary session of the Authority of Heads of States and Government. This happened in Guinea-Bissau. They said it was a unanimous endorsement. And so he accepted. He says he's accepting the honor on behalf of Nigeria and also pledged to bear the responsibility of the office and run an all-inclusive administration. He also talked about the pattern of coup d'etat that we're seeing currently in West Africa, and he says that we need to stand firm in defense of democracy. He says that democracy still remains the best way, to lead our people. He said that the military turning its guns against civil authorities violates the principles upon which they were hired, which is to defend the sovereignty of the nation, and that we must not sit as toothless bulldogs while this happens. He also talked to different counterparts across West Africa and says that we should do everything to respect democratic institutions, ensure respect for human rights and the rule of law. And of course, we know that this is a one-year tenure, and he says in his 1 year, he will enhance engagement with other countries to ensure that there's quick return to democratic rule.
You see him sitting on his chair with confidence and pride. Yeah, I'm the new chairman. Go ahead.
All right, I want to, Punch did the research, and they are saying there are strong indications that more Nigerians will be relocating in the Japa. Said that this was based on the recent removal of subsidy, the depreciation of the Naira, impending increase in electricity tariff, and introduction of value-added tax to diesel amid the already battered economy. So they asked a few people, and they said that a few travel agents, the national chairman of the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agents, Susan Akporai, said that they've had more people booking to relocate. A lot of people, especially Canada, have made it clear they wanted more hands, and UK is in health crisis. They want people that will come in as caregivers. They also said a lot of people are going through the route of being students. So currently, UK has, between 2015 to 2022, 128,000 people have students in the UK, contributing £1.9 billion to the UK economy. 57,000 nurses have left Nigeria, 6,000 doctors, 28,358 Nigerians between 2015 and 2021 have relocated to Canada under the Canadian permanent residency. And it is not, the indication from the travel agency association is saying it's not getting any better because many people are now leaving well-paying jobs. So one of the people that said she works with Sterling Bank as a customer representative said that even if you pay 1 million naira right now, if you look at the inflation and the cost of living, you can't get good quality life. And so she's saying she's also relocating to Canada.
Daily Sun, article hits Tinubu hard. Account for $5 billion Abacha loot. Court orders Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Jonathan Buhari governments. 14 die, 9 injured in Lagos auto crash. Seychelles bans Nigerian passport holders from tourism. Anglican primate urges support for federal government economic reforms. World Bank loan threatens $500 million investment of local meter manufacturers. Ohaneze Governor Oti Item, people mourn Ruko. And Plateau Governor imposes curfew as gunmen kill 9 raise houses in community. Okay, so let me start. So imagine your younger brother, maybe somebody 16-year younger brother, stops you from coming to his house. That's exactly what happened with Seychelles. Seychelles slapped Nigeria in the face, saying that its government has slammed the ban on Nigerian passport holders from visiting the country for holiday purposes.
What do we do?
Well, they didn't tell us exactly. This was confirmed by a Twitter user and a travel content creator who on Saturday shared a screenshot of what appeared to be a Seychelles visa application rejection email. Say, we regret to inform you that your application has been denied as per immigration regulation. For now, we are not accepting any Nigerian passport holder for holiday purposes. We wonder why. But as I said,
we have done what to do.
We did not do it.
What did we do?
They should tell us.
Until we hear what
Calm down.
No, they should tell us.
They don't need to tell you anything.
No, but we need to.
We need to tell you.
need to know, yeah.
Is that is their own discretion to tell us or not? They can choose not to tell us.
Countries
Just don't
want
want
to
you,
see we are going there. We have beaches here.
not part of ECOWAS that we can be commanding them. Our president is president of ECOWAS. They can't try that in ECOWAS.
We don't have a minister for foreign affairs. Probably when we have a minister, we'll
will
get
try to engage them. Okay, another story in Daily Sun.
Yes, so the manufacturers are saying that the decision of the federal government to commission the supply and installation of smart electricity meters to 11 electricity distribution companies, is causing a lot of controversy to especially indigenous manufacturers who have been given this project to get the meters. So the meter manufacturers under the auspices of the Association of Meter Manufacturers of Nigeria, AMON, said that this particular move by the government to commission foreign manufacturers to bring in already made meters was capable of sinking over 500 million investments that they had invested in Nigeria. And, they wrote a protest, they had a protest letter that was signed by the President and Secretary of AMON, Messrs. Ademola, and he's saying that this could also lead to massive job losses in the industry. And the industry currently employs over 10,000 Nigerians in direct employment and 30,000 Nigerians in indirect employment. And they said this happened from November 2022. They were given a bid to make sure that the meter, there was a project, a national mass metering program, meter all the houses in Nigeria. And so they had invested millions of naira to ramp up.
You see, this is not new.
No, so hold on. They had not, that's last year. They're still working on it. And now they are opening World Bank bid where you have access to, if you get the money, you get about 1.2 million meters distributed, foreign made, brought in. So what will happen to the local manufacturers? How would they, and they are giving them tax waivers. Yes, you are encouraging people to come in, but then you're forgetting that you have people who are doing the work here.
Because I remember there was the time Minister Fashola had told us then, when he was in charge of it. Yeah, in fact, he gave me the numbers of 4 companies, Nigerian companies, who had the task of providing these meters, but they failed it. They were unable to meet up the demand. We are complaining that we don't have meters for years. So maybe they're trying to open it up. If you guys cannot provide it, let us get people who can do it. But there are conversations.
They are setting up now. They have invested 500
million. I'm talking about 5 years ago. This is not new. This is a long time ago.
This project was last year.
So this one is probably an intervention to that. Well, maybe that still isn't working. But the point I remember clearly, he even gave us the numbers that time.
But it's not encouraged for business.
To invest money here when policies.
But Nigerians have to complain. We don't have meter. They'll start taking people say, we don't have meter. It's you that have meter that will say you wait. Guys that don't have meter will say don't wait. Please bring the foreign one. Let me get a meter and have lights. So it depends on what you have. Okay.
Worrisome.
Auntie?
Yeah, no, I want us to...
Okay, Vanguard, very quickly. Governments of ex-presidents must account for $5 billion Abacha loots. Find a story of not taking. PIA, administrative challenges, inadequate funding, others hinder implementation, says investigation. Misconduct, PSC demotes CP to DCP, reduces ranks of 8 others.
Wow.
Interesting.
Serious.
Driver, motorboy, 16 others die in Lagos, Abuja auto crashes. Curfew as 12 die in fresh attacks on Plateau communities. Benue, death toll in Ukum local government attack hits 30 governor. Earlier, APC condemned bloodbath. Okay, which story are we talking about?
There's an intense, that's why I wanted to quickly rush and take it. The lobbying is intense. Yes, the committees. Okay. The senators are lobbying for juicy committees. Yes. And some people feel like they are more important than others. Wow. The ranking senators that have been within the assembly prior to this time, like the oldest ranking. And then some governors feel like, we've served as governors 2 times, so that automatically should push them to go for grade A committees. So there are grades to these committees. Not all committees are not the same. So there are proper committees. The grade A, appropriation services, downstream petroleum sector,
of course,
upstream petroleum sector, banking, insurance, and finance institution. Others include Army Defense Finance, Navy Niger Delta Affairs, Custom, Excise, and Tariffs.
Juicy.
Foreign Affairs, Health, and Power. These are like the juicy committees, and people are lobbying to get this position. However, there are like 63 committees to be head, and on a normal day, in proper scenario, it should go to people that have ranking and have experience within those industries, but we will see how they will vote.
What is so juicy in those committees that they are all lobbying?
Ego now,
But in the new administration, it shouldn't be like that. You know,
No,
this
no.
new administration, you think that things are different.
These are old politicians.
I don't understand.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, what's the topic of the day? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.